welcome back to my channel. On today's video, we are going to be going over my tips and tricks and the way that I edit my Instagram photos for my main Instagram page. I also have a beauty Instagram page, and if you guys would like to know how I edit those photos, go ahead and let me know in the comments below. If you're someone who struggles with Instagram and filters and editing and all of that, then hopefully this video becomes really useful for you. So yeah, if you're excited for this video, then make sure you hit that subscribe button and keep on watching. So first of all, I have to give credit where credit is due. A huge part of where I learned how to edit my IG photos comes from Delaney Child. She is like the queen of IG and aesthetics and like minimalization, and just she is so good at editing her photos, and you know, her aesthetic of her channel and her page and everything, it's just so vibey. I'm nowhere near that. Like, I'm not on that level at all. As you guys can see when you scroll down my Instagram, there's not really like a certain structure or color or anything like that I follow. Although I love the look of pages that are super organized and like matchy like that. I just feel like my style, and some of you guys might like relate to this, but my style is so everywhere. I don't wear all the same colors. I don't do all the same things. There's some days that I'm wearing a really vibrant pink outfit, and then some days that I'm wearing like all nudes. So I like to edit my photos according to whatever I feel best suits that photo, rather than making everything match. So I don't know if that, hopefully that makes sense to you guys. Also, look at this. My first time wearing this shirt and the freaking button broke. I have to replace it. So there's actually a couple of different apps that I use to edit my photos, and I'm going to screen record and show you how. All of my photos I take on my phone. I have the iPhone 12, but before this I had the SX Max. So I don't really think the phone that you take your photos on matter. And also, I know a lot of people are monetizing their Instagram accounts, which I think is really good to know how to edit and like properly filter your photos if you are monetizing. For instance, if you get a brand deal with clothes or this or that. But if you're like an everyday person and you just use your Instagram for fun, I think you should do whatever you like. At the end of the day, it's not that serious. It's just Instagram. So the first app, which is the easiest app, is the app called Tezza. I'm sure you have heard of Tezza before. I've actually recently followed her on TikTok too, which is really cool. She made this app herself and like she went viral. But Tezza is the easiest way to edit a photo. Like, to be totally honest, if you're like a really lazy person and you just want something that you can click, copy and paste this edit, upload the photo, like this is something that I'm sure you would love depending on your taste. So let me show you. I'm gonna upload a photo that I've actually already posted on my Instagram and use this as an example. So this is just the photo like taken from my camera roll. There's been nothing done to it, no edits, no filters. For something like this, literally every single time, all I do is click the filter that's called vintage. I didn't like pay for the upgrade or anything like that. I just have the basic free app. I click vintage and you guys can already see how much of a difference that makes. It makes me look tan. It makes everything super bright and vibrant. I mean, literally, I was just so happy with this. I could have uploaded it like this. It's so simple. It's so bright. And I feel like a lot of people use this app. But if you're someone who didn't know that and you want to use it and try it out on your photos, I highly recommend it. I like to share my tips and tricks. I hate when girls are like, what do they call that? Like, they hold secrets like hostage. Like, they don't want to tell you where their jacket is from or what they do to edit their stuff. I don't like that. If I like something and I'm curious about it, I would love for someone to share that knowledge with me. There's enough room for all of us. That's why I'm doing this video. Anyways, back to the point. So this is all I would do, literally all I would do on this app. If you guys can see that the photo's highlighted, all I do is copy edit, and I can paste the edit on anything else. For instance, this photo. Now the edit is pasted on this photo, and as you guys can see, it does the same effect. That is the trick for Tezza. Literally, that's all I do whenever I'm wanting to edit something simple and brighten it up. So there's really only two different ways I like to edit my Instagram photos, and I'm gonna show you right here what I'm talking about. Now, this photo right here was like already edited by the photographer along with this one. That's why it looks a little bit different on my feed. But what I was talking about as far as like Tezza, you can see the photo I just showed you is there. I used Tezza for these photos as well. That's all I used, and it just brightened it up so much. And same with these photos right here. All I used was Tezza. It's just such a simple, oh, and these as well. Such a simple like copy and paste, makes the photos so bright, and I love it that way. On the days that I don't want to do those edits, or for instance, photos that look weird in the Tezza app, I'm gonna show you. So for instance, a photo like this one, This is completely natural. This is just taken on the iPhone, no edits, no filters, nothing. When I use the vintage filter on that, I don't like how it makes me look. I feel like it's way too much, you know, like, and I can tone the filter down a little bit, but I kind of felt like the lighting was so naturally good and strong that I didn't want to like do too much to that photo. So instead of using that app, as you guys can see, this is the way that I ended up editing this photo and these photos. It's pretty much natural lighting. There's not too much of a difference other than a few things. So I'm going to show you how I got that. There are two apps that you guys will want to download. The first is called Lightroom and the second is called Cam. Lightroom is free and Cam I believe is like $1 or $2. I got these apps and like these ideas from Delaney Childs, like I was telling you, but Lightroom is just such a good app to have in general. You can do so much with it. You can take some of my ideas and make them into your own and just play around with it and see what fits like your skin tone best, your hair, eye color, all of that. But I love Lightroom. And let me just turn this up. I think it's a little better. So let me show you. I'll take this photo for instance. So I'm going to brighten it up a little bit first. Then I'm going to mess around with the highlights and shadows just a little bit. So like I might put the highlights to like -5, and then depending on if I want to remove some of the shadowing in the background or not, I can mess around with that. I'm gonna make it a little darker behind me. Then I'm gonna brighten the whites a little bit and darken the blacks a little bit. That just makes everything a little bit bolder. As you can see, that's before, that's after. My eyeliner is darker. My hair's a little brighter. And that's just as far as like exposure goes. I will go to color. This is like my favorite part. So I don't really mess around too much with vibrance. If anything, I'll actually bring the vibrance down a little bit. Then I'll go to mix. This is like where you guys should pay attention, if anything. These are all the different colors that you can select and bring more of or take away some. So for instance, there's a yellow line in the garage. I'm just gonna show you what this app can do. You click the yellow, you take the saturation all the way down, and as you guys can see in the luminance, like all the way down, and as you guys can see, it made me look crazy, but it took away that line on the floor. So I don't really care that much about the line. It's just, I don't care. But I would like to like brighten myself up a little bit. So I'll click orange because my skin tone is in that category. I'll make me a little bit more saturated and a little bit more illuminated. And as you guys can see, the more you go, the darker it gets. If you take it away, you look more pale because that's the orange tones that it's adjusting in the photo. So I guess I'll do it to like 18 just because I like the tan look. And then I'll go to yellow and I'll actually take some of the saturation away from the yellow. That will remove a little bit of that garage line as well as the yellow in my hair. So here's before, here's after, before, after. I just think it's so much more like vibrant and just like what I like. Then the next thing I'll do is go to effects, and I like to take a little bit of the texture away just because, I don't know, it makes your skin look smoother and all of that. I'll take the texture to like 10, -10 I mean, and that just makes you look a little bit more like blurred out, I guess you could say. They also have grain. If you want to do like a grainy photo, you can like make yourself look a little bit like grainy, like old-fashioned photos, which looks really cool. But for this instance, I didn't do any of that. That's all I did for these photos. As you can see, it just brightens everything up a little bit. And then I would go ahead and export it, and that photo would be good to go. But that's 2 different variations, and again, like this is all just dependent on your preference. I'm gonna show you how I would edit one more photo. All right, so I'm back on my IG again, and I just wanted to show you another example of something that I like to do sometimes. So see in this one, you have a date going on. It's pretty natural looking, but there's like a bunch of dust in the photo. I purposely put that there to give it more of like a misty effect. I don't know, I just think it looks really cool, a little bit more vintage. And I actually really do like to date my photos. So I also just did it in one that I uploaded like yesterday. I put a little date down there and then a little bit of dust in the garage. And I'm gonna show you how I did that one. So here's a photo that I just had taken the other day, and I haven't done anything to it. This is just straight off the iPhone. It's not edited, not filtered. If I wanted to just click vintage on this one, that's what it would look like. It's super like bright, as you can tell. It makes me look really tan. It makes my hair really like light, which I do like, but I don't know if it's like too much. I don't know if it's like the vibe I'm really going for. It might be, sometimes I'll try it on both apps and compare it, but let's just save like halfway, okay, and save it. But for the heck of it, we're gonna go ahead and edit it in Lightroom so I can show you one more example, get into that third app. So we went ahead and uploaded it into Lightroom. Now I'm gonna brighten it up a little bit. Let's say to like 17. I'm actually gonna remove a little bit of the shadows, let's say like 8, just because there's a little bit of cellulite on the back of my legs, and I don't know if it kind of blurs it out a little bit to me. Then I'm gonna brighten the whites in the photo. My freaking camera stopped recording and I don't know when. All I did right there was brighten the whites to about 8 and then darken the blacks to like -4. Next I'm gonna go into color. I'm okay with the temperature of the photo. I don't wanna make it any warmer or cooler. Let's mess around with vibrance. I guess I'll put the vibrance to like 8. Let's go into the color wheel. I'm fine with how the natural saturation is. I'm just gonna go and specifically choose which colors I wanna make brighter and like more muted. So in this case, if I wanted to mess with my skin a little bit, I can make myself a little more saturated or a little bit more brown. Luminance actually makes you way more like tan looking rather than orangey. So I like that. It can make me look really, really tan. And then I'm gonna mess around with the blue. So this is where it gets really, really cool. The sky and the water are both blue, but the sky's extra blue. So I'm gonna saturate it and make it look much bluer. And then let's try maybe with this dark blue shade. Yeah, see, that one did it. You can make the sky like crazy. I just wanna maybe bring it to like about there. And as you can see, that's before, that's after. Next, I'm gonna crop it to make it Instagram size, which is 4:5. I'd like a little bit more sky than I would concrete, so there we go. And I'm gonna export it to my camera roll. Talking so much. I wanna make this very clear very quick. It is not that serious. Like none of this is that serious. It's just something I thought that would be cool to share with you all, because I know some of you follow my social media and I don't know. It's like nice to try different things out. I was inspired, so I just like to share. I was not good at sharing growing up, but I'm working on it now. Next, we're gonna go into Kuni Cam. So I'm gonna go ahead and click the photo, click edit, and this is where it gets cool. Now there's a ton of different filters in here you guys can mess around and use. Like black and white looks really dope, but I'm gonna keep it at normal. I'm gonna go to edit. I'm going to adjust the grain a little bit, just because I feel like this could look like a really cool older pic. And I'm so weird, I always have to like try and make the numbers even. Like 51 won't do it, I have to go to like 50. But I'm good with the grain. Now I'm gonna go to dust, and there's so much you can do. You can add freaking snow if you wanted. Like if you want to look like you're in the snow, you could add rain. It's actually so cool, like that looks legit. But I'm gonna go to dust. The simplest one is D1, and as you can see, it just adds a couple of dust particles, and you just pick whichever dust you like the best. So I think for this photo, I might want to do something like, maybe something like this, but turned, maybe in like that direction. I don't know, does that look like a kite coming at me? Maybe we'll try a different one. Kind of like that one. Okay, and then you can see what it looks like before and after, before and after. And then, if you want to get trippy, you can even go to 3D and make it look a little bit like crazy glasses, but I don't need all of that. I'm just gonna make a date. So I'll put the date on. Here are the different date options. And these are my favorite right here. For this one, I kind of like the cream color date in this one, so I'll rotate it. And for this one, it seems like it kind of fits best there, but you can see it visually better in the sky. I think I just want to kind of hide it behind like the balcony. And then I guess I'll choose today's date as the date. So it looks like I took it today. There you have it. I'll go ahead and save it. So it kind of gives you that really cool, like vintagey sort of effect, like I was telling you guys. It just makes it fun. Like I feel like it's fun to just like edit photos and make them look customized. I need to make my Instagram a little bit more organized now that I like know the edits that I like, but it's like some days I want like the really vibrant sky and some days I want grain. So I don't know, it's a personal problem. Hopefully that helped you guys out if you have been looking into different Instagram edits or wondering what I do for mine. If it did, make sure you leave a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel and comment what you guys would like to see next. I've been having a lot of fun doing these lifestyle videos along with my makeup videos. If you feel like binge watching, click one of the videos at the end of this one and go on a roll, grab some popcorn and join me. And other than that, I will see you all in my next video. I love you so much, angels, and God bless.